can do yourself. I myself, I found a plastic bin to contain them in. I have wiped them down with some alcohol. So my hands were clean. Everything was disinfected beforehand to make sure that when we put them together, they'll have a good chance of growing with no contaminants in it. But with that, let me shut up and let us open this box. I'm so excited. Oops. So again, I did clean this up. And I've got it going. So I'm going to put that on the floor for a minute. You can use isopropyl propylene, whatever, to clean it, or whatever you have. If it's hot, very soapy, very hot water, that works too. But just make sure your area is nice and clean. I've got some filtered water. Again, you're not going to want to mess around too much, but do make sure you get some in you. Refreshing. Now, we've got a variety of mushrooms to choose from. This is the lion's mane. We've got golden oyster. I said yellow, but I should have said golden. Sorry, it looks yellow on the box. And finally, we've got some blue oyster. So we've got a combination. I'm going to be putting them in this box to contain them. Now, the different mushrooms are going to call for different moisture, different temperature, and so forth. So, the one that is going to be similar for me to grow is the blue oyster, which I have grown before, and the lion's mane. So be sure to look at other videos in the past. It was there about 3 to 4 years ago. I attempted it. We're going to try it again, this time inside instead of at the outdoor balcony space. So we've got the two we're going to grow. This one is going to go in the fridge for up to, I believe it's 3-4 weeks. We're going to put this in the fridge so that we're going to do that at a later and another video. With that, let me just stick this over here. Gourmet. So this container will be big enough for the two. When you look inside the box, you're going to find some instructions. It's going to tell you how to build a tent to make that the mycelium has more time to grow. I personally find this is not at all properly established, but we're going to go ahead and try it anyway. This should be a hard white block. So I don't know what this is. It's really soft. It really does not seem like something I'm used to, but let's see what happens. So according to the instructions, it says where to put your mushroom grow kit. It says to put it for best results, to put the kit somewhere indoors, such as kitchen canteen that gets light during the day and darkness at night. Typical indoors lighting works well. Keep out of direct sunlight. So that's what we're going to do. Keep it out of the direct sunlight. X is what marks the spot. We're going to be making an X there. Like I said, in my opinion, this is not at all properly established mycelium. That is not at all ready, but let's figure it out anyway. We've got a little spray bottle that comes with the kit, and this is to help make a tent hood type apparatus. When you put this down to the side, you will be taking some tape and tape it to the side just to allow fresh air and a little bit of sunlight. But in actuality, again, it does prefer darker areas. So you're going to get some tape, which is not included. So in a minute, you're not going to be taking it out of the box. You will be leaving it in the box, as I said, making a tent-like structure. Now, see this. This is what you want. You want it to be nice and white. Now, I'm going to have to take pictures of that. You're going to want it nice and white, just like this. Because when it looks like this, it is again not yet colonized. So what I might do is I'm going to start the blue oyster. I'm not going to open this one. I'm going to put this in the fridge. So let's do that. Let's keep going. Oh, I almost turned it off. So let's do that. We'll fit this one. Unless we try it now. Let's look and see what the golden oyster looks like inside. No, again, it's not exactly properly colonized. So I'm going to stick it in the fridge and let it, where should I? Now, I really did want to grow the two. So let's grow the two. Get 2 bottles out. Do not disturb the block, but I am going to just take it out so you can see real quick. You're going to make sure that there's no air, the least air as possible. This one says to make the X right there. For me, I see that there's most of my mycelium is on this side, so I am going to make an executive decision, and I'm going to be making my X over here where it is the thickest. Stick it back in the box properly. Oh. again, you're going to try and get most of the air out. This seems to have a lot of air in there, which is not good. So I don't know. Seems pretty bad if you ask me. Let's get some tape, which I forgot. Hold on. Cut, cut, cut. I can't seem to find the tape. So I am going to start it anyway without the tape. These, again, because they're not getting used, will go in fridge until I'm ready to use it. Now, you normally would wipe it down with some kind of disinfectant. I don't have any, but we're going to put some water in this container. I forgot to put this sprayer back. Put it together. So you again are going to assemble it and making it look like a tent. Like that. You're going to put, like I said, something to adhere this. So I'm going to have to find that real quick. I don't know what I'm going to use. I can't find my tape at the moment. But I'll have to look through the drawers. So let's make that water. Get some water in the container, which I have water out of the fridge. That is I don't know what it is. Just like that. We're gonna have to call them. I'll call them later when I'm not on the video live stream with you. But we'll call them, figure out what to do with those. We'll come back with another video to do that. In the meantime, we have some nice, clean, filtered water. I don't think it has to be sterilized, but we will make X. Now, it says to make an X. I again am going to make an executive decision, and I'm just going to make one long slit. So I'm going to make one long slit right there. that. Then you're going to take water and spritz it all around the plastic. And you're going to open it just slightly, just so it can. And we're going to pray. We're going to hope that the spirits help it grow. Now, because I don't have the tape and how to do this correctly, or not correctly, but with the tent the way it's supposed to be, I'm going to also spray the sides of the plastic bin. And get that nice and moist. And you're going to put it in a spot that does have a very slight area where there's going to be airflow. You do not want it in an area that doesn't have some airflow. So I'm going to make sure this is really nice and wet. And then I'm going to put a plastic cover over it. And let's hope, like I said, that it grows. We're going to do that twice a day. When you see that it's dried off, go ahead and wet it again. Just like that. And let's stay tuned. Hello, hello, everyone. I appreciate you being part of my growing some blue oyster mushrooms. I'm going to put, like I said, a lid on here, a plastic, and that's going to be the tent. So, thank you, thank you. Click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.